There are challenges, of course, every year, every day, every second. There's always challenges. But for me, I am an optimist, true and true. And although there are lots of things going on around the world, but there's lots of opportunity. There's lots of opportunity to adapt, to evolve into something else. All business sectors and all areas are they're forced to look at their ways and adapt and evolve, and that is only good. Anytime you're almost, even if you're forced to look at yourself in the mirror and look at your own practices and your own ways of how you carry yourself, if you're forced to look at that and address that and assess that and make growth through that is only a positive. So I look at this year as an opportunistic year. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things moving and shaking, and you best believe through this situation we are faced with, you will see some amazing things take place, as you have already seen. You know what I mean? There's some very highly intuitive things. You know what I mean? Some things that have happened and the way people have handled things. So I just look at it with an opportunistic mindset and a very optimistic. That good things will happen from it. So it's always happened to me. Anytime anything bad has happened to me, or anytime I've been faced with something that forces me to look at myself or look at the surroundings, it's always worked out for the better. So you've got to go through the storm to get to the sun. They say so. That for me is the way I'm looking at this year.
Do you think it's possible to achieve success without this mindset, without seeing opportunities, without being adaptive? Let's say for the upcoming generations, for the next 10 years, all businessmen, if they don't have this mindset, can they succeed? Your opinion?
No.
Impossible, yeah?
I don't think so. I would say so. Yeah, you've got to. It's got to start with the mind. Your mind has to believe in chance, believe in the divine, believe in things to happen for you. You know what I mean? It's got to. Your mind must create these things before anything else. And then the rest of it, through work ethic, through fighting through the doubts and through the storm, so to speak, maybe other people's doubts upon you, fighting through all of that, strengthening. Again, this strengthens your own mind. And then you will break through and succeed. You've got to see it. You've got to have it you've got to have that outlook.
Fully agree.
And, it is hard at times to get to that stage, but it's about a lot of self-talk. A lot of self-talk with yourself and just being honest with yourself. A lot of people can lie to themselves, but if you're truly honest with yourself, most of us, if not all of us, know the changes we must make or the things we must do in order to become successful or to reach the heights. Where it happens is we just don't do it. I know I've got to get up at 8 a.m. in the morning. I get up at 9 a.m. These are things. I know I shouldn't eat this extra pack of donuts, but you eat them. These are little defeats in yourself. If you simplify it, what time you go to bed, what time you wake up at, if you can control that, if you can control what you put into your mouth, be it food or drink or any of that, if you can control those two things, they are the main things to control. Everything else is, everything else just falls into place after that. So if you listen to yourself and take care of yourself in this manner, it strengthens your power to conquer anything else. And that's where I have succeeded, and it's also where I've fell short. So this is coming from an experienced talk, and even as an everyday thing that I must bring it back to the basics. Look after my rest, look after my nutrition, treat my body and my mind like a temple, and then everything else falls into place. I could say, make sure I go training, make sure I keep my training structured. But if I get my rest correct, and if I get my food and nutrition correct, the training is I don't even got to speak on the training because it's a guarantee. I have energy. I am excited to go to work. Be it exercise or be it business. So I don't even got to say I got to make sure I got to be at this training session at this time or this meeting. That's a given. I'm asleep at a certain time. I'm up at a certain time. I'm eating a specific diet that's going to boost my immunity, my endurance, my mindset, everything else that comes with it. And then it's like I don't want to say a domino effect because dominoes is knocking it down. It's like a reverse domino effect. It builds it up. You can't build You can't build something on an unstable foundation. You know, you build something on a shaky foundation, you can even get it high as you can. You can, you know, you can build something on it. You can throw things together and get it up high real quick. But the cracks in that early foundations will start to present itself, and it will start to open up and eventually crumble. And it's a hard crumble. You know, it's a hard fall when you do this. Everyone will look to skip these things and make excuses for these things, the basics. But it catches up on you. You know what I mean? The nights out will catch up on you. The lack of discipline in the you know, it's I'm gonna say the small things, but it's not, you know, as they say, the small things make the big things. What you put into your body, what rest you take, you know. You were saying about you have this place where you go to, and it's like your water, you know. We've got to have these things that strengthen us and guide us to that next level, and that's where I'm at now, and I'm trying to stay. No, I'm not trying, because, you know, I'm working for it and I'm doing it. That's it. It's done. I'm engaged fully in it now. I'm fully obsessed and fully committed to being the best version of myself. And that's it, you know. So onwards and upwards we go.
What about surroundings? I mean, people that surround you. How important is it as a part of the core? Picking right people, you know, to help you through it, or maybe cleaning up some people so they don't distract you. You think it's important?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I hear what you're saying. It's like, you know, as time goes on, things will just happen naturally. You know what I mean? I feel those that are there, and those that are not, you know, they are not. And eventually, they say the cream always rises to the top. So, you know, if you just put true faith in that alone, you know that as long as you internally, your own self is correct, and you're a lead, you know, people, you must lead from the top. You know, it filters down throughout the staff or throughout the people surrounding you or whatnot in your businesses. It filters from the top. You know, the staff below or whatnot. I'm not going to say below like people are above each other. It's not like that. But I'm just saying, people that are looking at who's instructing them will be looking at how they carry themselves. They'll be looking at how the leader carries himself, the chairman, the CEO, the boss, whatever way you want to call it. And then, you know, they will respond to that. If the boss is late or if the boss is acting up, well, then everyone else thinks it's okay to act up. You know what I mean? So it comes down from the top. And that's why I'm almost like, you know, regarding bad people that made bad energies or bad things, I don't dwell too much on that, because it almost just works itself out as long as internally you from the top are correct, and it filters down, and you will only see good from that. You know, a guy I've been speaking to recently was like, and even my own mother, right? I've been very proud of my mother recently, and actually, she actually, you know, my mother was going through some things, and she came through it with flying colors, and she's like a new woman. And when I seen this, and my mother is at the top. My mother's the top, right? And that's that, seeing her correct. She wasn't telling me, Connor, do this, be right, get yourself right, do this, do that. You know, because that isn't, almost you're gonna say, wait, what? I'm okay. And you'll almost rebel against that. It's leading by example. And I saw my mother in the great light that she was in, and I was in awe of it. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to get to that stage. I want to be in this position. And that motivated me to go and correct myself. So that's what I'm saying in that way. You know, as long as you in your place are correct and on top of your game to what you need to do and where you're going, everything else around you will fall into shape, and everyone will, you know, take inspiration from that and become that in their own way. And then they will bring their own qualities to it, which will make the whole picture like a Picasso, you know, like a Picasso painting. That's where I'm at now, and I'm trying to stay. No, I'm not trying, because, you know, I'm working for it and I'm doing it. That's it. It's done. I'm engaged fully in it now. I'm fully obsessed and fully committed to being the best version of myself. And that's it, you know. So onwards and upwards we go. You know, there are challenges, of course, every year, every day, every second. There's always challenges. But for me, I am an optimist, true and true. And although there are lots of things going on around the world, but there's lots